for joining us this afternoon. My name is Reese Brewer. I'm the director of Frontier Metropolitan Planning Organization. And with me is Ms. Stacy Willinger. She's our transportation planner. And we'd like to talk to you about the Together Frontier 2045 Metropolitan Transportation Plan update today. And we are nearing the finish line for this particular project, and there will be a final public hearing on June the 8th for this document. So you may want to know, who is Frontier Mpo? We are congressionally mandated to undertake regional transportation planning for the urbanized area around Fort Smith. And we have several partners who also serve on our policy board and technical committee, from local jurisdictions, city officials, the Cherokee Tribal Nation Transportation Department, the Arkansas Department of Transportation, Oklahoma Department of Transportation, Fort Smith Transit, and many others, along with the Federal Highway Administration Division offices. So what is a long-range metropolitan transportation plan? Well, it's a document that looks out about 20 years into the future, and we try to understand what is transportation going to look like and what will the transportation infrastructure needs be over that time. And we divide these projects into certain segments, into short-term, mid-term, long-term, and illustrative. And illustrative is largely local projects that are almost like a wish list. So the document serves as a guidepost and guides us along and helps us to prioritize and determine what projects we might need in the future. And this document is submitted to the Arkansas Department of Transportation, the Oklahoma Department of Transportation, and the Federal Highway Administration. And more importantly, it is fiscally constrained. That means that we're looking at funding projects within a specified amount of dollars. And these are dollars that we've historically received in the past. So we're not anticipating just adding dollars into the budget just because we can. We really take a reasonable approach to the budget to ensure that we're really looking at projects that are feasible. So communities within our planning area include Fort Smith, Van Buren, Barling, Greenwood, Alma, Sebastian County, a portion of Crawford County, Bonanza, Central City, Lavaca, Kibler, Arcoma, Moffat, Pecola, a portion of LaFleur, and a portion of Sequoia counties in Oklahoma. So the public involvement process basically is we seek your input. We've had surveys, online, social media to help us determine what the goals and objectives and what the community is looking for in their future infrastructure. And then we evaluate that. We do the fiscal analysis. We do the impact analysis. So what kind of impacts might this project have on a community? Will it potentially have environmental impacts? Will it potentially maybe divide a community or impact a low-income area? And then the outputs are like, okay, what are our strategies? What are our priority projects? And, you know, we document the public process throughout the entire planning period. So why is this important? Well, we know things are changing here. We've all recently experienced a pandemic and COVID-19 and knew that there were supply chain disruptions. Jobs are shifting into one sector, maybe from manufacturing into freight. How people travel, their preferences are changing. More people are wanting to walk, take bicycles. So as a result, we know that the demands on the transportation system and infrastructure are changing. So in order to receive the federal funding for these projects, they have to be in this document. So some of the things that where we are now, where things exist now, the population in 2000 for the region was around 255,000, and by 2020 it was pushing closer to 300,000. And then you can see the home ownership and the labor force numbers also. So a lot of the metrics that we use to determine how to plan for future transportation is we'll look at population, Where are those changes occurring? Is it growing? Is it slowing down? Income, employment, like where are the employment sectors located? Age, disabilities. We have in this area almost a 20% disability rate. So that means you really need to think about how do people get around in power chairs or wheelchairs or other adaptive vehicles. How many people own bikes? How many people own cars? What's the level of transit ridership and freight volumes along with traffic volumes? And where would those potentially go and be forecasted? So we asked people what kind of projects do they want? What are they looking for? And several individuals offered comments, and we took and prioritized and analyzed and scored those projects. And we put those into a fiscally constrained budget into short, mid, long-term, and illustrative projects. So a lot of the regional strategies, is like, how can we ensure that this system is safe, secure? Is it resilient? How do we preserve and maintain this system? And then some of our other regional strategies, we want to be more inclusive. We know people want to ride bicycles and walk and have a movability infrastructure. They're asking for more transit. They'd like innovative freight intermodal infrastructure and use technology to help them get around on the roadways. So our fiscal resources are federal dollars from USDOT, the Federal Highway Administration, Federal Transit Administration. The state would be Arkansas Department of Transportation and Oklahoma Department of Transportation programs, regional agencies, and local agencies. And we just assumed a very modest growth of the current funding. There is a new bipartisan infrastructure bill that is adding more money for complete streets, for bicycle and pedestrian infrastructure and infrastructure on the whole, intermodal ports, that type of thing. But we really wanted to be very reasonable in our analysis. So I know this list is very difficult to read, but we have several short-term projects that would occur in about a 5-year range. And are things that have been a regional priority probably for some time, and they are spread throughout the region in many communities. And then here's a map of some of the short-term projects. And you can go on to our website and download these documents, www.frontiermpo.org, to get a better look at all the various projects that are occurring. The same for the midterm projects, a little further out, between that 10 and 15-year range. And again, it will show all of the various midterm projects for the region. And then the long-term projects, 15 plus years out. And you can see most of that initially would include I-49. And then a lot of illustrative projects are largely local illustrative projects. Because you'll require local dollars in order to do these projects. So they just go on this illustrative list. And as you can see there, they vary from Pacola to Arcoma to Greenwood and all over the place. So our next steps for this process is to continue to gain public review and comments, to be sure to have folks know that they can be at the public meeting on June the 8th to provide any further comments on the final document. Our public period just closed for comments on May the 23rd, but you still have an opportunity to provide additional thoughts by June the 8th. And we would be happy to take any comments and welcome any thoughts that you might have. So that is our presentation for today. Do feel free to check out our social media and our website page. And thank you so much for your time.
I hit the wrong button.
Okay.
We are still recording. Do you want to stay on?
We can stay on for a couple of more minutes. I think we can stop recording at this time would be fine. And I didn't see any other individuals online with us at the moment. But we'll just wait a couple minutes and then I think we can just post this
Okay.
online for folks.
Okay, I'm stopping recording now.